Okay, lovelies, just enjoying lying back on your mat and just taking these few moments to start your practice in quietness and stillness. Start by just scanning through your body from the head downwards, noticing any tightness around your neck and shoulders and arms. What you might notice through the front of your body, or the sides, or through your back and your spine. How you feel around the pelvis, buttocks and the hips, and your legs down to your knees, and finally coming down to your feet and toes. And as always, tune into ahimsa, non-violence, non-harm to your body, and satya, the first two of the yamas, which are moral disciplines that we follow in yoga. So if you know something is hurting or it's weak or tender or twingy, then being very gentle with yourself, not pushing, keeping and reserving energy for later. And satya is the truth in observing this and not letting the ego take over and wanting to do more than you should. And we can apply this in life as well, not just on our mat. So have a moment to root your energies down. Send your roots through your tailbone or your feet, and just feel very grounded as this connects us with our root chakra, Muladhara. And so inviting a lovely red energy into your mind at the base of your spine. And feeling strong through your legs. And then bringing your awareness below your navel to your sacral area, that lovely orange centre, and see it as a lovely bright orange in your mind's eye. And this is lower back and lower digestive, so just being aware of how that feels, if it's a bit tender and weak today. And then solar plexus, how does your energy feel here? And then your heart, which is your upper back as well, and your arms. Checking in with your throat. If you've got a cough or you've got or you feel phlegmy or there's a soreness around the neck, this can all link to slight imbalance in the throat energy. Notice your third eye. How have you been sleeping? Noticing any imbalance here, and then crown, the top of our head, and just being aware. Just as you lie here, I'd like you to just breathe in deeply into your belly. Bring that movement of the breath up into the chest and then finally up towards the collarbones. And then on the exhale, just allowing the belly to drop and the chest. And let's just take another 3-part breath here, the Durga breath. Inhale, belly, chest up towards the collarbones. And then just enjoying a nice slow exhale. I'm going to join you lying down and we'll start our stretches. On your next inhale, taking your right arm over, let the arm just float to the floor. And we're going to lift the right toes up and flex into our right foot. Everything on the left is relaxed. And just gradually start to stretch, lowering the right leg and lifting the right arm, spreading the fingers wide and really enjoying that push into the heel. We'll point our toes now. And then when you're ready, just allow the arm to float back down to the side of your body on your exhale. Turn your palms up. Just take a breath in between. And then we'll do the same the other side. On the next inhale, arm comes over. Lifting the toes on the left foot and flexing, and then just enjoying this stretch. It's all about enjoying and exploring the body yoga. Stretching the palm, lovely flex in your foot, and then gently we'll start to point the toes on the left foot. And on your exhale, arm comes down, back down to the side of your body. Palms up. Just take a breath in between. Notice how you feel, and then both arms over on your inhale. And then just enjoying flexing and then pointing your toes. How does it feel around your shoulder blades? How does it feel, the stretch in your belly? Out around your ribs. And then on the exhale, bringing the arms down. Nice and gently. Being very observant of how you feel. Palms facing up. Just have a moment, relax. How long does it take for your lower back to relax? And then we will draw our right knee in. Gently having the hands around the shin. Taking a deep breath. Breathing belly up to the chest, up to the head, and then exhale, come up. And slowly follow the breath, leave the body, and then holding the breath out. Inhale, coming down. Swapping sides, left side now. Deep breath in. Exhale, nice and slowly up. Feeling the belly fall back to your spine. Nice stretch through the back. Hold the breath out. And then inhale, coming down. Both knees this time. Same again. Deep breath. And exhaling up. Just pausing. And then inhaling as you come down. Hold onto your knees. And then just rock side to side gently. And start to make little circles. Go one way a few times so that you feel the sides of your back connect with the mat. And then start to rotate the other way. Really enjoying massaging our lumbar and our sacral part of our body. And we'll come to a stillness. Let's roll up to seated. We'll do Paramuktasana 1. Nice gentle warm up. So gently come into a nice comfortable position on your mat, either on your cushions or not, whatever feels right. And we know this warm up really well, so let's start with Chin Mudra. Let our eyelids close. Let's have a moment just to lengthen comfortably through our spine and really notice how we were sitting before. Maybe we were sort of curling the tailbone under. Perhaps we can have a little bit more lift through the lower part of our spine. And let the shoulders fall away from our ears and have a nice length through from the base of our spine to the crown. Notice your breath. And then when we're ready, we'll take the chin down. Pausing and just noticing how that felt, simply just to lower the head. If you notice any sensation where it stretches or radiates. So breathe in, bring the head back to center. And then breathe out, take the chin up to the ceiling. Pausing again to enjoy this openness through the throat. Breathe into center. Breathe out, take the chin down again. And notice a little bit more if you can let any muscle tension go. Once more up, breathing into center. Breathe out, chin up. And then coming back to center. We're going to tilt the head to the right. So right ear to the right shoulder, and then over to the other side. Just having a moment to pause. Noticing what you feel. Same again, let's do right. And then left. Coming back to center. Let's twist as if we're gazing over the right shoulder. And left. And again. Which side feels better today, or do they feel quite even? And then left. Returning back to center, we'll lower the chin down and just take the head all the way round. First in one direction, then the other. Nice and slowly. Noticing if you feel any new sensations that you'd not noticed earlier. Coming back to center. So blinking your eyes open. Let's extend our hands in front of us and then thumbs in, thumbs out. Warm up our fingers and our joints in our hands. And then palms up and down. And just having a little bit of gratitude for every part of the body that we move that can still move. And then rotating. And the other way. Lovely. Palms up. Deep breath in. Exhale, but tuning into the elbows. And your breath. And then bringing elbows together. And then rotating. Whichever way you prefer. You can go backwards first or come forwards first. And then the other way. Noticing again how this feels, whether it feels good today. Lovely. And release. Okay. Slipping your cushions away from you, extending your legs. And just rocking side to side so we connect the sit bones to the mat. And then toes. Spreading toes, closing toes. And then pointing, and a nice flex. And again, you might hear some clicking going on here. One over the other, and just gently rotating. Not only do we get to sort of connect with our body, but we're just preparing everything for all of our movement, and then just the other way. Other side. And another way. Lovely. Right knee. So hands under the thigh. And just being gentle with anything you need to today. So hip now. Hands around the shin. And then a few times the other way. Oh, lovely. Left side. Knee first, then the hip. And then what do you think about when you move your body like this? What's going through the mind? Just notice your inner dialogue when you're doing these movements that we're so familiar with. And then let's join the feet together. Come into butterfly for a moment. Take a nice deep breath and then soften. Noticing what you're feeling in your hips and the inner thighs. Okay, lifting up. So we'll come on to hands and knees for cat-cow. Yeah, if anything ever feels a little bit tender, or you know you need to be careful, a bit more padding is always helpful. So like a towel, or roll the mat up. So onto all fours, neutral spine. Having a few moments here, maybe just close the eyes, noticing how it feels in your wrists, and perhaps being conscious of the tops of your feet connecting to your mat. And then on your out breath, we'll stretch up. Head and tailbone lower, stretching and arching the back. And then on the in-breath, moving into cow, where we drop the belly. And very nice and gently. So if you need to be very gentle with your back today, I know some of you have to. So it's good to keep moving if things become very tender or volatile in the spine, but only going as far as is comfortable. How does it feel when you move this way? Are there sensations in your lower vertebrae, or is it the middle part of your back, or perhaps you might even notice the upper spine? If you want to go into wild cat-cow, you can. Just enjoy a little bit of movement into the side of your body. It's always nice to do these together. Just a few rotations, and then the other way. Sometimes if you have got any kind of twingy nerves in the spine, moving gently like this can start to sort of free things up, create a bit of space. So coming to a stillness, let's just drop down into puppy. So still keeping your hips over your knees, we'll bring the chest and the head down. It's a little bit of an alternative to coming back into Hasta. So as you bring the head down, you can feel that lovely lowering of the chest and a nice stretch into the front of the body. And it also feels nice in your shoulder blades, that area. Taking a few breaths. Okay, gently just lift your head, and we'll walk the hands back to the body. And then we'll come into a kneeling position. Do you think you can do the kneeling sun salutation, Diane? Yeah, have a go. Okay, love. So this is keeping the class quite gentle today. So we'll do the kneeling sun salutation. So we're not up and down too much. We'll do 3 like we normally do, and we'll start to pause when we bring the arms and the legs up, and just notice your balance. On the one leg, just don't hold it too long, Diane, okay? So taking a nice deep breath in and opening the arms. A lovely stretch up and a gentle lean back if you can, looking up to the sun. Kneeling back and then onto all fours. From here, left arm, right leg. And then lower. Other side, only holding as long as you feel that you can do. Coming back. And then up. Okay. And again. Little back bend. Coming forwards. So opposite arm and leg. Other side. This is a balance as well, so noticing how that feels in your body. Coming up. Okay, so the last one, we'll just pause and bring the arms up, legs up a little longer. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Onto all fours. Okay, bringing arm and leg. Just pause here for a moment, gently sort of gazing a little bit ahead of you and really supporting into the hand on the mat and your foot on the mat. Lovely. Lowering down. Other side. Only holding as long as is comfortable. Are you holding your breath or are you breathing to the belly? Lowering down, coming back. And up. Okay, lovely. Lie back on your mat. We'll come into...
Hold your breath, you know.
You do. I know. I sometimes do, so I think some of you might be. Okay. Have a lie down. So notice what you're feeling. Do you notice any sensation, any subtle sensation through your body, different temperature changes or a slight tingling? How do your wrists feel? We've been on our wrists, so if you need to rotate them, then you can do. This is very good for strengthening your wrists, being on the hands and knees like that. Let's have a moment to breathe the 3-part breath a few times. It's called Durga breath as well. So breathing into your belly, up into your chest, and then finally up towards your collarbones. And then as you exhale, feeling the belly drop, the chest drop, and just that relaxation around the collarbone. Let's do that again. Breathe into belly. Up into the chest, feel the rib cage move open, up to the collarbone, and relaxing. It's a very, very calming breath. We'll do that one more time. And exhale. And just notice how your nervous system feels just after 3 of those breaths. Just come back to a normal breath now. So we'll draw our right knee in and then our left knee. We'll come into bridge because it's a nice gentle posture for the knees and the spine. And then we'll also come into some twists as well. So drop the feet to the mat, near to your buttocks, hip distance apart. And we'll come up into bridge, but then just float down with the breath. So that nice sort of wave-like movement, turning your palms down at the side of your body. And before you move, I would like you to engage your lower abdominal muscle and then your pelvic diaphragm. So when we do this, we're engaging what we call a bandha, which is Mula Bandha, and it's an energy lock. But we're also engaging our lower core as well for safety around the lower spine. So when you're ready, let's breathe in, come up. You don't have to come up very far, just pushing through the heels, feel engaged through your buttocks and your thighs and gently in your lower back. Let's take a breath in. And on the exhale, we're simply going to roll down, keeping the tailbone curled forward and under. And we'll just plant each vertebrae down, one at a time. And as we rest the tailbone down, that lumbar arch restores. Let's come up again, engaging the belly. Mula Bandha. And when you're ready to exhale, just softly, slowly bring your spine back down to the mat. Feeling strong through the knees and the thighs and the legs. Let's do that one more time. It's not necessarily about building strength, just doing 3, but enjoying that sort of floating movement of the spine up and down towards the mat. Let's roll down when you're ready. Really enjoy each vertebrae touching the mat with consciousness. And then just extend your legs out. Sometimes when we have sort of weakness in parts of our body, it can be an energetic imbalance. So when we do these poses, we're enhancing the energy flow through our bodies, through the nadis, the meridians, the energy channels, which are very much like, the veins and the arteries that have a roadmap through our body. Just take a few moments, notice if the back feels good here. It feels nourished and cared for. And then if you want to, bring your knees in for a little rock, and then we'll come into that same position where we just roll from side to side and twist. Okay, so feet back down to that same position. We can bring our arms out level with our shoulders. And today we'll take it gently by just sort of doing our windscreen wiper movement. So on your inhale, and then your exhale, just swinging the knees towards the right. Head can go towards the left. Breathe in up to center. And as you breathe out to the left. And this really is a posture or a movement that you can do as much or as little as you wish. Again, I'm going to draw your awareness back to Satya and Ahimsa, truth and non-harm. You might normally be able to get your knees all the way down to the mat, but today might not be the right thing to do. It might be right just to sway the knees a little bit at the top of the body. Anyone who feels any sharp pain, you need to draw back. Okay, we'll keep swaying our knees, but if any of you want to just take the knees to one side and pause there for a moment, then you can. It's your practice, so if it feels right to just hold this position and breathe into it, then you can do. Try to relax your buttocks and your lower back when you're doing this. Often you'll find a little bit of tension build. And maybe now let's come over to the other side. It's all about just becoming very conscious of your body. What feels different today? What's new? Balancing the body, but also balancing the mind. Let's draw our knees up to center and take Shavasana. How do you feel? Good. Lovely is a good word. Nourishing. Like you're loving your body, like you're giving yourself some me time, which you are. If only more people would get on the mat and appreciate themselves in gentle ways. So we can draw our knees in here. Have a little rock. Take a few deep breaths. Maybe a long sigh as you gently rock your body. And then we'll bring the feet up into the air, happy baby. And you can have hands on the soles of your feet, around your ankles. Or if you can't reach there, the backs of your thighs, just behind your knees is another place you can place your hands, depending on what range of motion you have here. And you can rock from side to side if you want to. like a happy baby. If that feels nice, you might just feel being still is actually more safe and comfortable. Breathing into your belly, feeling that breath up into chest. Okay, bring the knees into your chest, just relieve where you feel it in the tops of your legs and your hip flexors. Just have a rock here. Maybe hold your hands on your knees again and just rock from side to side with the arms quite stretched. And then if you want to just draw your knees in gently, you can feel different movement through your whole back. Okay. So we'll come up to seated. We'll do some seated work today. Let's first come into, we'll come into butterfly with the bolster first. Let's try it this way, and then we will take the bolsters away and just see if, having held these stretches for a moment, coming into the posture without props feels different. So just let yourself relax here. This is quite nourishing again for your spine. Just let the head soften. And I'd like you to focus on your breath. So like we did earlier when we breathe into belly, chest and up towards the head, let's just follow this a few times. So belly, chest up towards the head, the collarbone. Following the exhale. And breathing again, 3-part breath. Enjoying feeling the breath go into your lower back and expand into your back ribs and your back body. And you might notice your shoulders just lift a little bit and they just gently drop on the exhale. Okay, let's just lift up and take the bolster over the legs now. So come into butterfly like this and we'll just rest the bolster on the feet. Let your forearms rest over. Nothing too intense, just exploring how the body feels here. Perhaps you feel a little bit softer into this pose than you normally would if you came into it without the props. Focusing your breath to your belly. Directing the breath anywhere that you need it today, especially if it is lower spine. And then when you're ready, let's just take that bolster away and come into butterfly again. You might find that the feet want to come slightly further, nearer to you. And then let's just soften here. How does it feel? Does it feel nice to go through those stages? Perhaps it's a little bit softer around your hips, not so intense. We won't hold it for too long, just exploring all those different variations and how they change. Maybe you do feel it more on the inner thighs, the tops of where the hip crease is. Okay, lifting up gently. Just extend your legs out in front of you. Lean back into your arms. Maybe take the head back and really lift your chest up into a little back bend here. Just to counterpose that forward fold. Taking some deep breaths. And then lifting the head up. Okay. How are you feeling all through your backs? Anyone? Is that your back okay? No, good, lovely. All right then. We'll stay on the floor today. We'll do some seated postures. So carrying on with the body. Okay, legs wide. So feeling your sit bones connect to your mat. Lovely tall spine. Breathe in, take the arms up. And gently just let your body fold forward. Try and keep a nice length to your spine here rather than curling and folding. And if you can just flex your feet a little, you're going to feel a lovely stretch on the inner thighs. Breathe in here, we lengthen. Exhale, we just try and soften forward. Don't have any agenda on how this pose should look for you. It's just how your body wants to respond today. And when you feel comfortable in your pose, just bring your awareness and belly breathe. Let's just come up again. Right, some of you I can see are a little bit like this, okay, where the spine is curved. Let me turn sideways. So we're sort of like this. What would be better is probably just to sit up, and even if you tilt forward just ever so slightly, it's about keeping that length to the spine rather than collapsing. Do you see what I mean? So let's just do that again, and just with a bit more awareness on your body, just see if you can just allow the body to still stay straight. So let's take the arms up. When we do this, we encourage that lovely sort of straight length to our spine, and then let's just simply drop the hands forward. You might not even touch the mat, but just keeping that length rather than collapsing, okay? So does that feel different? Yeah? Yeah. Don't worry about coming far forward. And it might just literally be hands here, fingertips even. Feeling that engagement in the legs, feeling that lovely lift through the spine. You might find it's difficult to stay here. Maybe it's difficult to breathe. So, okay, relaxing. Lean back into your arms. Have a little wiggle. Maybe just rotate your body around a little bit. Do some belly kind of barrel rolls. Okay. Head to knee pose. So the legs stay extended out. I'm going to just shift forward a bit. Okay. So bringing your left foot into your right thigh. Same again. With this posture, try not to be tilting and curling into the spine. Let's have a lovely lift, like somebody is pulling you up from your head, like there's a cord coming out through your head. And just float your body down. It might be that you come into this pivot of your body and then just the arms come down and touch. Some people can get their whole body down, and I love seeing that, but it's she can, yeah, she does. But it's more about getting your whole body down like that rather than curved. Do you see what I mean? I could easily come down like this, but I'm sort of, the body is curved. And in a yin practice, we would be like that. But Hatha is more about having the chest towards the thigh rather than the head to the knee, although it is called head to knee pose. So just breathing here, feeling that lovely expansion in your chest and your ribs. Okay, gently walk the hands back, extend your leg. Let's explore the other side. If you need to rub anything, you can do. Always, when we practice these things over and over again, gently, gently, something starts to sort of stretch a little bit more. So lovely tall spines. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, let your arms just float down, keeping that lovely length through your spine, like someone's got a ruler through your back. Noticing how this feels. Relaxing your left knee if it feels like it's tense. If you feel like you're collapsing into your spine a little bit, just sit upright. Just come up into that upright position and just tilt. It might be okay, and release. Just lift up. Stretch your legs out for a moment. Okay. I'd like to come into fish pose. You can do this very gently. Right, so this is quite nice for your spine. I'll just show you fish pose. It's not one we do all the time. We sit on the backs of our hands. And then from here, we gently bend into our elbows and we lift up. Sometimes you might only be able to come here, but you might be able to get up and then really stretch the chest up and bring the head back. It feels lovely afterwards once you've done this pose. So have a go if you'd like to. So lie down, take Shavasana for a moment. And let's just get used to the body lying back on the mat. Taking a few deep breaths here. We're going to turn our palms downwards and then lift our right buttock and slide the hand under, and then lift your left side and slide your hand under. Okay, your elbows might be poking out to the side, so see if you can just lift your chest a little and tuck your arms under like you're trying to hide them from an aerial perspective. And then from here, we're going to take a deep breath in. And then as we breathe out, we're just going to bend into our elbows, and you might creep your heels forward a little bit as you lift up. Okay, gazing at your toes. If you're okay and you have strength in the neck, you can tilt your head back. And then that will encourage the chest to lift a bit more and a little bit of a curve in your spine. If nobody is comfortable, if you're not comfortable with this pose, you don't have to do it. And then when you're ready, we'll just gently lift our head, look to your toes, then lower your body down. And then release your hands from sitting on your hands. Come into Shavasana. You feel a lovely tingliness perhaps in your hands and forearms where we've been in compression there. And notice your back. Does it feel nice? Just that little bend into your lower back. Take some deep breaths. Check through your body, just scan through, becoming aware of what feels a little bit more alive and rejuvenated. So we'll draw our knees in. Let's have a little hug. Nice and slowly, no rush here. We're just going to gently rock. And if you need to lift your head up to your knees, that feels quite nice sometimes, just to stretch a bit more through your spine. You don't have to, you can just leave your head on the mat. And then we're going to come up to seated. I'd like to do Nadi Shodhana. But today we're going to do it a different way with the hands on the face, which is how most people practice it. The way we normally do it hands-free, I really enjoy, but you'll feel it a little bit more with having the hands on the face. So take your middle finger and forefinger, And just have a moment. We're just going to rest this on our third eye and just circle round a few times. You can close your eyes, connect with Ajna chakra, and maybe just rotate the other way a few times. Okay, and then what we're going to do, you can bring your left hand to Chin Mudra, and that can just rest there. So with your 2 fingers on your third eye, bring your thumb to your right nostril and your ring finger to your left nostril. Just rest them there for a moment. And this is alternate nostril breath, so you will notice this more than when we have our hands free. Press your thumb to your right nostril, close it off. And then we'll just breathe through our left one a few moments, noticing if it feels free or not. And then open your right nostril, so release your thumb, and then bring your ring finger to your left nostril and close that off for a moment. You might find that you feel a little bit blocked here. You might need a tissue, but we can get one shortly. Okay, so release that. Okay, bring your thumb to your right nostril and close it off. So breathe in through your left nostril and then close your nose with both of your fingers. Hold the breath in and then open the right one and exhale. We breathe in with through the right nostril. Close it off with your thumb. Hold the breath. And then exhale through the left. So we're going to just have a little pause on that inhale, okay? So in through the left. Close both nostrils. Pause. Exhale, open the right nostril. In through the right. Press your thumb there, hold the breath in. Open the left, exhale. You get the idea. So we'll just do a few more of these, in through the left. Just do one more round, ending on the left side. So if you're with me, then you're breathing out the left side. Release your hands. Just come into Chin Mudra. Close your eyes for a moment. Maybe wiggle your nose a little bit and notice how you feel. Opening your eyes. How does that compare with the one we normally do? It's different, and sometimes you might want a tissue handy afterwards in case you do get a bit snotty. But it is a really lovely practice and very balancing for the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. Very calming as well, and you do get used to this movement, and obviously you get to hold, when you pinching both nostrils, holding the breath in, it's very calming for you as well. So okay, I'd like you to choose a pose before we come into relaxation. So it might be waterfall, might be banana, it might just be resting your hips on the cushion in a supported bridge. So each of you choose a pose that you'd like to do. So you might just want to come into this, or legs up, or choose a pose that you enjoy. We're just going to have a few minutes in Yogi's Choice. You might actually prefer just to lie back. Entirely up to you. Just do a pose that your body is drawn to. It might be coming back to a twist, or child's pose, or whatever it might be. It's funny how we all end up doing similar things. Raising the legs at the end of a class is it's very lovely to have an end with an inversion. Calming for the heart, nervous system. And so in this pose, let's just gently return to the Durga breath, the 3-part breath. Breathing belly, chest, head. Nice and gently, it doesn't have to be intense. And maybe close your eyes and gaze into the space where your third eye is, taking the gaze ahead of you beyond your third eye. Maybe you see colours, shapes, perhaps it's just a big grey void that you're looking into. Notice how you feel, whether you're very connected to yourself. In this moment, you're in a lovely restful pose. The breath is a focused breath. Tuning into your intuition. Okay, lovelies. Just gently start to bend your knees, lower your feet if you're in waterfall. And get yourself into a nice, comfortable position for relaxation. Using blankets, bolsters, cushions, whatever you feel you need. When you lie down, your body temperature drops. So this is sometimes when you might want a layer over you. So just starting to relax yourself. You know how this feels as you relax from your head, through your neck and shoulders, along your arms to your fingertips. How it feels to relax all the muscles in the front of your body and the sides and the back. Softening through the buttocks, pelvis and legs, all the way down to your toes. And I'd just like to read to you about Om, because we Om every session, and it's just nice to understand why we do it a bit more. Om, O-M, or A-U-M, is the sound of the infinite, the most abstract and highest mantra, within which all other mantras are said to be contained. Om is the manifested symbol of the original vibration, the transcendental soundless sound reputed by Hindu texts to have caused the universe to come into being. We might compare the concept to the scientific theory of the Big Bang. Although Om is the mantra of the Ajna, or the third eye chakra, its vibration manifests in the physical world through the Vishuddhi chakra, our throat when it is chanted out loud. Chanting Om is recommended to release blockages that might be present in your throat region and to make your voice more resonant. The sound is believed to have a positive effect on your nervous system, to strengthen the respiratory system, and to energize every part of the body. Chanting its three symbols, A, U, M, sets up rebalancing vibrations in your body while awakening latent psychic and mental powers. Because of its universality, Om is a useful and powerful mantra that anyone can use. You can chant it whether you are on your own or with a group of people. Some spiritual teachers like to open meetings or classes by chanting Om with the group. It is thought to enhance communication. When sessions close with a resonant Om, the chant is reputed to equip participants with a deeper understanding of the subject studied. Om stands for Supreme Reality. It is a symbol for what was, what is, and what shall be. Om also represents what lies beyond past, present, and future. So just sitting with that little bit of knowledge, having some quiet time to relax before we chant Om. As you lie there, you may even just want to repeat Om in your mind, just as something to focus on. Gently just bring your consciousness back to your body. If you were starting to just drift off into a sleep or becoming just slightly unconscious, just come back into this relaxed state where you're aware. Notice where you are lying on your mat, the temperature in the room, the noises. Gently aware of the clothes against your skin. Anything that you smell or can taste. Just staying present in this relaxed state. As you lie there, just noticing how you feel, having a moment of gratitude, releasing anything that doesn't serve you, and just having a few moments to say some really positive things to yourself. How miraculous you are, how valued you are, kindness and compassion that you share. And knowing that you coming onto your mats and practicing yoga is a lovely high vibrational thing to do that you, without knowing, will pass on elements of this teaching and this study to other people. And thereby the light of yoga spreads and carries on. So very gently, just begin to gently wiggle fingers and toes and perhaps enjoy a deep breath in. Maybe just start to roll the head from side to side, bring the ear down to the mat each side. Maybe taking your arms overhead and having a lovely long stretch. Pointing your toes, flexing your feet, whatever feels nice. Perhaps hugging your knees into the chest. Rocking. And then in your own time, take your time, gently coming up to seated. And we'll chant 3 Oms together. And when we chant today, try to imagine the sound that you're creating is AUM rather than the OM. So those 3 elements of Om, Ah, Om, the AUM coming into your mind as you chant. So resting your hands, Chin Mudra. Let the eyelids close. Have a lovely length to your spine that's not too rigid but not collapsed. And we'll take a deep breath in together. And then we'll bring our hands together, rub our palms, start to feel the warmth, but then rub them even harder to start to feel the heat. And with lovely hot palms, we will palm our eyes and gently blink and let that heat come into the eyeballs. And then we'll part our fingers, let the light start to come through and draw our hands to our heart. Om Shanti. Namaste.